1 second. Here we go. Boom. There we go. 1 second, viewers. Okay. We are back for another live stream on the formulajonah YouTube channel. I'm your host, of course, Jonah, the guy who founded everything, the guy who's managing everything. Welcome to everybody who is in the chat right now. Welcome to everybody who has joined these streams. We are about to get going for the 7th round and the penultimate round of the World Endurance Championship season in 2025. Wow. This is going to be a big weekend. This is going to be an epic race. The 6 hours of Fuji. We are ready to go for another iconic classic. This race is very special compared to all the rest of events, though, because it is the 100th edition of a WEC race ever since the first back at Sebring in 2012. Welcome to everybody who's joined. Thank you all so much for your support, especially during this weekend at Fuji. It has been absolutely incredible. What you can see right now is me, of course, for this event, but to the left-hand side of your screen, we have the live data for this entire event. That includes every single Hypercar entry and the top 2 in LMGT3. That's what I could fit here. Now, there are 2 other streams going on. If you want to know the starting grid for this race, go check out the live stream there. That's going to be going on for another 10 to 15 minutes or so until we get green flag running, which is in just a moment, actually, for this race to begin, which is going to be epic. And then, what was the other stream? Oh yeah, the live data. If you want to just take a look at the live data, kind of get an idea of where all the GT3 entries are, where all the Hypercar entries are, check out that stream. It's going to go out for the entire race, 6 hours of racing. And if you see me kind of looking over to the side of my screen, that's because I have a billion other screens going on. I have my other live streams. I have the official feed from the WEC. And that's actually another point I wanted to point out as well. If you are new to World Endurance Championship action, or you're curious about watching this race live, you want to catch the WEC action, well, look no further than FIAWEC.tv. That is how you can watch the official broadcast from the World Endurance Championship. You can also go to other sources if that doesn't work. For example, I live in the USA, so I'm watching on HBO Max. Folks in Japan, where this race, of course, is taking place, can watch it on J Sports. There are other places as well, Eurosport, of course, in Europe, etc. So, yeah, there's, of course, a lot of ways to watch this race, but those are the main places. So again, thank you all so much to everybody who's joined so far. The support has been absolutely amazing. We are just a few minutes until green flag running at Fuji. As of right now, I have the live feed right next to me. I'm kind of watching how things are going. Of course, for me, commenting on the action, I want to make sure I get a visual idea of everything. As of right now, it is cloudy. We don't expect any rain out on track, but the big storylines heading into this race. Cadillac, Hertz Team Jota, 1-2 again in qualifying. What a performance from Cadillac. And to be honest, this wasn't unexpected because Cadillac have been so strong recently, especially here at Fuji. If we look back to last year, Cadillac got pole position and they were super quick in that race as well. I think that redemption is coming for them from what happened at Fuji, where they had that tire issue with the contact with the 15 BMW, and then the car spun off and was completely destroyed. I eventually had to retire. Now 2 cars are in this race, starting first and second on the grid. I think this is Cadillac's time to finally shine here in Fuji and get redemption to what happened last year. While Cadillac was kind of expected to be fast, a surprise for me was Aston Martin, the pace of the Valkyrie. Wow, I am just astonished by what Aston Martin has been able to do across this weekend. Now, fair is fair. The Valkyries have been given a major boost on BOP. They are the most powerful cars on the grid, the lightest cars on the grid. Same with the Peugeot 9X8s, which look to be on par with the Cadillacs on pace. This is the first race since 2022 at Monza, hear me out on this, by the way, where a different manufacturer besides either a Toyota, Ferrari, or Porsche has been in the battle for the overall victory on its own. So in other words, it's always been Porsche, Toyota, or Ferrari battling for the win at some stage. If it's not one of them, it's one of them. There's never been a race where it's just another favorite. For example, in Sao Paulo, it was Porsche that was with Cadillac, you know. So this race, we could see none of those brands in the fight for the overall victory. It's possible we could see Cadillac versus Peugeot or another brand like that getting into the mix. But the thing is with this race, and the thing is what we saw from qualifying, is that everything is so unknown. We have really no idea where everyone is. If you look to the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the starting grid for this race. And I mean, there are so many different colored cars there, and that kind of just speaks to what I'm about to talk about. Every single car manufacturer is in the top 10 in Hypercar. The first time that's happened, I believe, this season. And it just speaks to how competitive Hypercar has been. Cadillac, of course, are on pole position with that 1-2, which may seem like a dominant result, but yet every other brand is lining up in the top 9. So it's amazing. It's amazing to see. And I think we don't really know what the grid is going to be like in the race. We don't know which manufacturer is going to kind of take off. We expect it to potentially be Cadillac. I mean, at least I'm thinking it is, and a lot of sources out there are thinking Cadillac are going to be potentially the brand to beat here at Fuji, considering what we saw last year, and the BOP, of course. But we'll see. It's going to be really, really interesting. About 5 minutes until green flag running at the 6 hours of Fuji. The cars are ready to go. They're on the straight kind of thing, the pit straight, and they're ready to start accelerating and begin the formation laps with Alex Lynn, I believe it is, leading us away. I think it's Alex Lynn on board the 12 Cadillac. It's Alex. Actually, I think it might be Will Stevens. I think it's Will Stevens on board the 12 Cadillac. So yeah, it is going to be Cadillac. And finally, the cars are go. They are officially rolling here at Fuji. Of course, they aren't going quite yet. We're still in the formation lap, but the cars are officially going. The flag has been waved, as is tradition, and all the cars are lining up in their respective order to begin this race in Japan. Green flag running, of course, in just a few minutes' time. Stay with us until at least the green flag is going. But just confirmation, Will Stevens will start the 12 Cadillac alongside Sebastian Bourdais. Marco Sorensen, who put that car in third, will start in third in that 009 Aston Martin. What a performance from Aston, by the way, if I didn't already mention that. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from Valkyries, from the two Valkyries. The 007 is starting 11th, so very impressive stuff. Let's see if they can maintain this performance in the race. They were competitive at Coda last time out. We'll see if they can hold up and get to the end and stay in the points. We haven't talked a lot about LMGT3. I know that there's been a lot of buzz around Hypercar, but LMGT3, a lot of excitement around here. A Hypercar is a little bit unknown where each manufacturer is. It's usually the other way around. It's usually Hypercar is the brand. One brand is going to be dominating, kind of like that, where LMGT3 is a little bit of the unknown. But I think that for me, it's a clear battle between the two British manufacturers of Aston Martin and McLaren for the win. I do think that Chevrolet have a good package with their Corvettes, and I say the same about Ferrari as well. Ferrari always go well here. They've won here in the GT category for the last 3 years, 2022, 2023, 2024, the last two, of course, coming from the exact same driver lineup of, I believe, Francesco Castellecci, Davide Rigon, and I think it was, no, Thomas Flora. It was Francois Ario. That was the 54 lineup. The 54 has been on fire in the last 2 years at Fuji, won the last two events in GTEM and in LMGT3. So you can't count out the 54 Ferrari crew, and you can't count out Vista AF Corsa either. They are so competitive. Porsche also look fast. They are going to be up there. I think that's inevitable. Both cars look strong, particularly the car that's battling for the championship, and that's the car to kind of watch. Whoa! Got a spin for the 38 Cadillac, the car that's starting in second position at turn 1. I believe that it will rejoin the field in second, unless we're abiding by the same laws as Coda, and the Cadillac has drifted down the order. That is a spin for Earl Bamber on the exit of turn 1. Where is that Cadillac? Is it still in second? As it sounds on the leaderboard, it's still in second position. And it has rejoined in second. Okay, good. The Cadillac will start in second. No change there. Like it never happened. But yeah, so a little bit of a spin for Earl Bamber. Probably just cold tires. That's how it goes with these races. And that's just how things stand. So we're going to get green flag running in just a moment here. We're approaching the second formation lap of, I think, 2 for the 6 hours of Fuji. It's cloudy out there, a lot of clouds, not a lot of sun. It's currently 11 o'clock, about 2 minutes to 11 o'clock local time in Japan. And reminder, viewers, this is for any of those folks that are maybe in Europe or America listening or whatever, you're probably wondering, why is it saying Sunday and it's Saturday or whatever? Well, that's because, of course, we're racing in Japan, a very different time zone, of course, for people that are over in the Americas or over in Europe or whatever. So yeah, for me, for example, it's Saturday today, but the race is actually taking place on Sunday because we're in Japan, of course. A packed grandstand, by the way. I haven't seen it this packed in a long time. This is wonderful. The Japanese fans are some of the best we see in motorsports, especially here at Fuji. It is so cool to see so many people come for this event. It's just awesome. It's just great to see. This is the number one event outside of Le Mans that I want to go to in the World Endurance Championship because, well, first off, I love Japan, but second off, this is just absolutely phenomenal. Can you just show the stream already? I can't show the stream. Reason why is because I get copyrighted. I'm not the WEC. If I was the WEC, I'd be able to do that, but nope, can't do that, unfortunately, because, well, I'd be copyrighted. The last time I did that, I did get copyrighted. And it wouldn't be fair. It's not legal. Let's just say that. So I can't show the stream, but I can show the live data. You can take a look at the stream on FIAWEC.tv. I know that's disappointing for some fans. I want to see the stream too, but, well, it's just how it goes. So we're about to go green here in Fuji for the 6-hour event. Cadillac at the start. Where will the Valkyries land up? Who's going to be on top in LMGT3 with so much unpredictability there? Porsche, Toyota, home heroes Toyota, can they finally get a good result? What about Ferrari? There are so many storylines to go into this race, and we're about to get going. The green flags are ready to go, and the safety car's in the pits. Will Stevens will lead us away in the number 12 Hertz Team Jota Cadillac. And this is taking a really long time. We are green here at Fuji, finally. Okay, the Cadillacs get a great start. Really, really good start to the race for the two Hertz Team Jota cars. There's a Peugeot trying to challenge for a better position. The 93 Peugeot's got up into third ahead of the Valkyrie. A lot of cars going a little bit wide in turn one. That's expected. No major incidents as it stands right now in the Hypercar field. A lot of squabbling going off in the back, but it is Cadillac 1-2. The 93 Peugeot of Paul di Resta is up to third ahead of the Valkyrie. The Porsche and the BMW, meanwhile, are going side by side. No position change there as the Porsche, actually, no, there is a position change. Andlauer is up to 6th ahead of Rene Rast. Here comes the 51 Ferrari on the 009 Aston Martin. No contact in the Hypercar field as it stands. Meanwhile, LMGT3 is Darren Leon at the top. Anthony McIntosh has moved down to second. It's McLaren now in the lead of this race. Aston Martin is P2, followed by Ian James in the 27. Back to Hypercar. Cadillac still lead the 12 ahead of the 38. So Will Stevens continues to lead this race. A lot of argy-bargy here into the chicane, but everyone's got out of that first couple of corners unscathed from what it seems. The only major change, there's a Ferrari that went off the track a little bit there. That's the 83 car, but it has stayed in 12th, as you can see on the screen. No major incidents as of right now, but last year, if you remember, we got incidents on lap 2, so let's see if everything plays out. Hopefully it's all good. This is the first major time these cars are coming down to turn 1 for the Hypercars, so we'll see how that progresses. The Peugeots are looking really quick. Loic Duval is already making the move on Rene Rast in the 20 BMW. Last year we saw contact at turn 1. These cars are heading down to turn 1. Yellow flag. What is going on here? Yellow flag. There's a Porsche off the track. It's a number 5 car. It's thankfully okay, but that's not the cause of the yellow flag. It's something in Sector 3 at the end of the end of the lap, and I believe that could be something to do with debris or LMGT3 contact. We're not seeing any coverage on GT3 right now. Meanwhile, the McLaren 59 car has got into second ahead of both Aston Martin Vantages. It is currently McLaren 1-2 in LMGT3. Very phenomenal stuff. Ben Keating has meanwhile got past Ian James into fourth. The Astons are kind of tumbling down the order here. Meanwhile, Stefano Gattuso has moved the 88 Proton competition forward into sixth place. Very good stuff from from the Multimatic, not Multimatic run, Proton competition run Fords. That's IMSA, Jonah, not WEC. So Will Stevens leads from Sebastian Bourdais in the 38 Cadillac. Hertz Team Jota lead 1-2, followed by Paul di Resta in the number 93 Peugeot. Then comes Marco Sorensen in that 009 Valkyrie, the fan favorite car, which is still in the top 5, sitting 4th. It's only been overtaken by one car, and that is the number 93. Meanwhile, Antonio Giovinazzi looking to get Ferrari closer to securing that championship with the 51. The 51 is currently in 5th position. It's made some ground up, starting from, I believe, 7th it was or something like that. But very, very good start for the majority of the Hypercar entries. Not much, no chaos compared to last year. Very good to see. Finally, the WEC has switched over to LMGT3. That's nice to see. So we have some coverage of that. Porsche versus BMW. We've got the 31 going side by side with the number 92 Porsche. Last year, the two McLarens did make contact, but right now, I think they know about what happened last year, and they're going to try and avoid it, and they are currently rocketing away from the racing spirit of Le Mans Aston Martin. So the Racing Spirit of Le Mans Aston Martin, the 10 car, that's the car that started on pole position with Eduardo Barrichello, currently has Anthony McIntosh on board, usually an IMSA racer. This is his second appearance in the World Endurance Championship. The last time he was here, he was racing for that team and got them a podium at Sao Paulo in Brazil. We have the 50 Ferrari going up the inside of the 007, forces the car off the track a little bit. The 007, if Harry Tincknell keeps going, the 50, though, is going to go to the inside and take that maneuver. So a little bit of issues there, but the 007, with its straight line speed, is going to power past the Ferrari. Remember, the Ferrari is the least powerful car on the grid. The Aston is the most powerful car, so no wonder the Valkyrie's quick in a straight line. Very impressive stuff. It's actually, the Ferrari is now being overtaken by the number 6 Porsche of, I believe that's Lawrence Vantor, who's going to try and go around the outside. That's the car that won last year. Watch out for the 6. It's going to be coming through the field, and it's going to be battling with the front runners, I feel. Remember, this is the car that won last year and the car that won at Lone Star Le Mans last time out, and it has moved up to 14th from starting right at the back of the field. So very impressive stuff there from Porsche. Let's see what they can do as time progresses. So we're approaching, actually we've already approached 5 minutes down. Meanwhile, a move in LMGT3 for the lead and for third place. The 59 McLaren, I think that is, has moved into the lead. Meanwhile, Ben Keating has got ahead of Anthony McIntosh. The two Americans are going at it for P3, and Corvette Racing by TF Sport has got into third position. Brilliant stuff from Ben Keating, who is looking to take the championship, his second championship in the WEC. And now we have the two Aston Martins squabbling for position as well. But yeah, it's been a pretty clean start to this race. Great to see. Things are going to start calming down a little bit as we get into the strategy game. Still a lot to go. We're watching a replay of the LMGT3 start right now. No contact in here either. Very good stuff from everybody. Really respectful racing, which is sometimes uncommon because of the turn 1 here. That's so difficult. There was a car that did slightly go off the track there in LMGT3. I think it was the 21 Ferrari or the 54, one of the Vista AF Corsa cars. Couldn't quite tell, but yeah. Also, the way the 59 McLaren got ahead was an overtake on 2 Aston Martins in the same couple of corners. Very impressive stuff from James Cottingham, who has got into P2 and moved eventually into first position. Let me get some water, hold on. There we go. You have to keep hydrated, of course. So I didn't point this out here, but for Aston Martin fans, for those that are listening that are Aston Martin fans, Marco Sorensen has got back into third place. What a performance from the Valkyrie right now. It is under pressure from Paul di Resta, but Sorensen doing a brilliant job right now, and he's gotten back into third. The Valkyrie is in the fight here, not just for a point or two, but a legitimate podium place, which is... I can't even believe this is happening. You know, we didn't see this from any other newcomers, besides Alpine and BMW, but of course Alpine and BMW were kind of in a different game as they had both been racing quite recently. Aston Martin hasn't really been in prototype racing in quite some time, so this is pretty impressive. The Alpine, of course, was racing in LMP2 and in LMP1, also in Hypercar as well with the A480, where BMW was racing with their car in IMSA, so they both had experience from that. That's why they were quick. Up at the front, Will Stevens has grown the gap by to 3 seconds now. It's actually changed as I'm talking about it. It was 2.7, now it's 2.9. So Stevens is flying in the 12. There's actually quite a big gap between, let's see this, first and second. It's 3 seconds. I mean, that's not a lot in terms of endurance standards, but this early stages, this is really good performance from Will Stevens. Sorensen is actually starting to catch up to, believe it or not, second place sitter Sebastian Bourdais in the 38 Cadillac. So really fantastic performance from the Valkyrie. Meanwhile, in LMGT3, we have a very close battle for what is P4 as it stands. Stefano Gattuso absolutely flying in the Mustang. The Mustang's actually doing quite well, and Bernardo Sousa is coming through the field as well after starting in the back. He couldn't qualify. He was the only car that didn't qualify, so he's already up from 18th to 13th, so very good performance from the Mustangs. They're keeping it from Lone Star Le Mans. And despite having a much heavier car now, the Mustangs are actually doing quite well. I have to say, they're doing quite well. Bad news for Toyota fans, the number 7 is down at the back, very back of the field in Hypercar. That's the car that won here in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I think it was the 2022, it might have been 2021. Oh, nope, there was no race in 2021, so it would have been 2022. Yeah, the Toyota's not doing quite well. The 8 is in 9th position with Sebastian Buemi behind the wheel. Speaking of Buemi, he is the most successful driver at Fuji on the entire grid. He shares that record with Kazuki Nakajima, who of course won here 4 separate times along with the Swiss racer, and Buemi is now classified as the most successful racer once Nakajima retired from the WEC. So very impressive stuff from Sebastian Buemi. I don't know if he's going to be able to add a 5th race win. It would be his first since 2023, 2 years ago. But Toyota, as far as I'm aware right now, they are continuing to be the worst performing car in BOP. And viewers, if you're wondering what is going on with Toyota, you know, like what this season has been dreadful for them, especially here at home, you know, it's not what we want to see. I got a video for you. I'm really interested in putting this one out because it could be controversial, but it's also really important. Oh, the Aston Martins are going side by side in LMGT3. That's not good news. And when I say that, I mean, it's very touch and go because they were in a corner where contact is very easy. So that was really dangerous stuff. But both drivers did really well. Very impressive stuff from the Aston Martins. One user has commented saying, I'm watching on HBO Max. That's great. That's a great place to watch. I'm doing the same. If you are wondering where to watch the action live, viewers, HBO Max is a great place to do that if you're in the USA. For fans in Japan, for example, it's on J Sports. Meanwhile, it's mainly available on FIA WEC.TV. I can't believe I'm saying this, but brilliant news for Aston Martin fans. Marco Sorensen is right on the back of Sebastian Bourdais, and he could be going for 2nd place right now. Aston Martin, absolutely on fire right now. This is this is the best race we have seen from the Valkyrie, not just in the WEC, but in IMSA too. By the way, viewers, the Hypercars have caught the LMGT3 entries for the first time. And, ooh, my goodness, the 8 of Sebastian Buemi using his skills to get around that Lexus and it with ease. And that was interesting. That was dicey. Here comes the Alpine, though, of Ferdinand Habsburg in the 35, trying to make a move, and Buemi's forcing him off to the side of the track, almost colliding into the wall. The Alpine is going to go around the outside. Ferdinand Habsburg is not going to like that, but the Alpine looks to try and get ahead. The Toyota has the inside line, though. Let's see if the A424 can try and get ahead. Buemi, with the later lunge, gets ahead and stays ahead of the 35. Brilliant stuff from Buemi at the end there, but that little bit of a shove, maybe a warning or something like that from race control to Sebastian Buemi, but we'll see how that goes. Marco Sorensen, 0.2 of a second to Sebastian Bourdais in the 38 Cadillac. Let's see. Wow. Sorry, I was just reading I was reading team radio to Toyota. Whoa! Sorensen's got ahead. Wait, did he get ahead? No, he didn't. He almost got ahead he almost stayed ahead of the 93. So Peugeot is up there trying to get into third place. So, oh no! There's an Aston Martin around. That's this 007. That's the Valkyrie. That's Harry Tinknell off the track. It looks like a spin of some kind. The Valkyrie has moved down to 18th. This is not good news for Harry Tinknell. Must have been contact with another car. Meanwhile, Sorensen is under pressure from Paul di Resta and Antonio Giovinazzi. What was going so well is unfolded a little bit for Aston Martin, but still a long way to go, and this could really not matter in the grand scheme of things. The Valkyrie is under pressure from from di Resta, but Sorensen is holding him back, and I think that power of the Valkyrie is really coming into play in a great way. By the way, Loic Duval is catching up to this train of cars for P3 as it stands, and the number 94 Peugeot is potentially going to get in there for the fight. Oh, here's what happened. Oh, contact with the 15 BMW and the 83 Ferrari. Let's see. So did Sorensen lose the car? I think he did. So Harry Tinknell lost the car in the entrance, unless the number 6 pushed him. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the number 6 wasn't involved at all. It was just a good camera angle. So the 007 and the number 15 BMW of Kevin Magnussen and Harry Tinknell have spun. Both were in contact. I believe that was more on Harry Tinknell. He could be getting a penalty for that because I think he lost control of the car and hit Magnussen, but not really entirely sure. 15 minutes into the 6 hours of Fuji, still 5 hours and 44 minutes to go. This is still a very, very long race in Japan. Stay with us for as long as you can. I won't be streaming the whole race. I wish I could, but, well, it's pretty late here. Or it's getting late. And I don't have a ton of time to stream. But, yeah. Meanwhile, we have a move going on for P9 as it stands. The 35 Alpine is trying to make that move once again on Buemi, but Buemi holds him back again. Great defense from the Swiss racer. And here comes the number 6 Porsche of Lawrence Vantor as well. So he's getting in the mix for P9 as it stands. Porsche are coming through the field. Contact between the 35 Alpine and the number 8 Toyota. Through goes Vantor and the 35 Alpine and the number 8's got a puncture. The number 8 has a puncture. The Toyota has a puncture. It's drifting down the order now. The number 8 Toyota has a puncture. There's contact with the 35 Alpine. Major issues for the Toyota team as a full course safety car has been brought out. The 35 Alpine was trying to make a move, I think. I saw it for a split second, but this is horrible news for Toyota Gazoo Racing. The number 8 has a puncture. It's falling down the order, and that was the car that was in the top 10, was the only Toyota in the top 10, but disaster for Toyota Gazoo Racing with the number 8. This is not what they needed. Is Buemi back to the pits? That's the question. Let's take a look and see what happened. So riding on board with the Toyota, obviously the rear view. Where does the Alpine go? Oh, and the Alpine just hits the Toyota I don't think that's Buemi's fault at all. I think that's Habsburg's fault. So I think Habsburg. Oh, what happened there? So it looked like Habsburg was trying to make the move and just it looks like Habsburg was just ran into the back of Buemi. That's what it looked like, and just totally punctured the back left tire. But it also could be that Buemi braked early. Habsburg is probably going to argue that could have been a brake check by the Toyota, but I don't think it was. I think that was Habsburg maybe doing a little too much. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Buemi saying something on the radio. No, very sorry. I got surprised by the shortcut. That's what Buemi says for Toyota. The Toyota is coming into the pit lane, so it has made it back. Thank goodness for Buemi. So that is very interesting. This is so reminiscent of what the 7 was dealing with last year at Toyota. This is the exact same camera shot that we're getting, and we're seeing a Marshall come and sweep away the issues there. The number 8 has made it back to the pit lane, by the way. This is so similar to what Toyota had last year. Puncture on the left-right tire. The number 8 is in P14 as it stands. It will drift behind Nico Pino in the number 99 and behind teammate Conway in the 7 and seemingly behind the BMW as well. This is just... Toyota's luck has been dreadful this season. They have just been hit over and over and over by just drama and just unfortunate situations. They're going to get a new tire on. You can see the destroyed tire. Why does he have a bad broom? I don't know. Maybe it was the closest broom he could find. Credits to the Marshal. I mean, obviously that's his job, but he did a great job to just quickly get that stuff away, even though it wasn't the perfect broom to sweep away the debris. But man, that was unfortunate. I'm curious to see what Race Control has to say, what Alpine and Toyota have to say about that. Very similar situation to kind of last year with Toyota, but more so what this reminds me of is, ironically, with Alpine and Toyota back in 2022 with the Monza race, when contact was made between the Toyota and the Alpine in the Monza event, and that resulted in a puncture, I believe, for the number 7 car, I think it was at the time. I think it was Lopez. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, very interesting. We had a comment coming in from Mohammed who asks, Yo, Jonah, did you know Max Verstappen is at the Nürburgring this weekend right now? Yeah, I did see that. I've been keeping an eye on his progress. For those that are unaware, Max Verstappen, a Formula 1 world champion, of course. If you haven't heard the name Max Verstappen, please go look him up. Go watch Formula 1, of course. I think you'll know instantly who I'm talking about. But Max has been racing in the Nürburgring while he's away from Formula 1 duties, of course, with Red Bull. He was racing for Emil Frey Racing with, I believe it was Chris Lundholm, I think it was, in the Ferrari. So Max was racing in a Ferrari 296, and he ended up winning. He ended up winning the race. Well, I mean, it's Max Verstappen. What more do you expect? But it was his debut in GT3 racing. He recently got his Nürburgring license, and yeah, it's been awesome. So, full course yellow, on track to clean up the debris from the incident with the 8 Toyota and the 35 Alpine. The number 8 Toyota has exited the pits in 17th position to fix that issue, but it is a long way back and is going to have to climb back through the field, just like the 007 Aston Martin and the 15 BMW, who are also involved in incidents early on. Full course yellow will end at 11:22:15. I think, I don't know what time that is. I think that's 11:22:15. I can't decipher what that is. I'm just not thinking, I guess, right now. I think we should be getting full course yellow done with in just a moment, though. By the way, viewers, right now, if you want, depending on what you prefer in terms of me talking to you or just live data, I know people do prefer either or. And when I end the stream, which will be inevitable, of course, check out the live data, the second live stream that's going on. That will go for the entire 6-hour duration of this event in Fuji. So take a look at that. Please do. Whoa, big battles going on here in LMGT3. McLaren, Corvette, and Ford were almost going 3 wide there. That's for second place. Stefano Gattuso is trying to go for P2. Darren Leon trying to keep it going, but Gattuso with the double move up into second place for Ford. Wow, what a performance from Gattuso. He has been flying. He's been the driver of the day so far, in my opinion. James Cottingham continues to lead in the 59 McLaren by 6 seconds now, but Gattuso, what a move. Got past Ben Keating, then got past Darren Leon in the McLaren, and oh my goodness, what was that? A Corvette went wide there, and an Aston Martin was involved, the Valkyrie that is. Here comes the 27 Vantage Aston Martin, trying to get into the mix as well. This is very, very close racing in LMGT3. That's what I can describe it by. But it is currently McLaren, Ford, McLaren, Corvette, Aston Martin. That is the top 5. Meanwhile, speaking of Ford, there is a drive-through penalty for the 77 car. That's the second car. That's Bernardo Sousa, and that's contact with the 78. Wow. Okay, so we're just seeing a replay of what happened here. There were cars going 4 wide. Gattuso went through the middle of the battle for second place with Leon and Keating, then just took advantage of them going off track a little bit, and Gattuso was just able to pounce on that whole situation and say, thank you very much for the squabbling. I'll take second place from you. So that was very, very impressive stuff. The WEC is focusing camera angles all on Hertz Team Jota with the 12 car. Will Stevens has grown the gap to 9 seconds to Sebastian Bourdais. Meanwhile, the battle for second has heated up between Bourdais, Sorensen, Di Resta, Giovinazzi, etc. It is Cadillac versus Aston versus Peugeot versus Ferrari in this race. Meanwhile, the number 6 Porsche has got ahead of the number 20 BMW into 8th position. So it is now Porsche 7-8, the 963s now up there. So the number 6 Porsche started at the back of the grid after, well, not at the very back. It started in the 17th. The 99 Porsche was the car that started at the very back. But Kevin Estra had a lockup in turn 1 in qualifying, and that car just, well, it wasn't able to set a lap. That basically ruined their chances. So Porsche wasn't able to get another lap with the 6. And that's why that car didn't get through to qualifying qualifying 2 for Hypercar. The Hyperpole session, that is. And yeah, sorry, I'm sorry if I seemed a little bit stunned, but it shows the 59 McLaren drifting down the order here, but that's not the case. That's a glitch by the graphics or something like that. Meanwhile, the battle for 8th continues to rage on. Porsche, BMW, Alpine, and Ferrari battle for 8th position as it stands. Vanthoor is trying to stay ahead of René Rast in the 20 BMW. But yeah, this is contact again in a very similar manner to the 35 Alpine and the 8 Toyota from what we saw earlier between the 20 BMW and the number 6 Porsche. So it looked like Rast did almost the exact same thing that Habsburg did to Buemi in the Toyota, but René Rast just almost went into the back of the Porsche. I mean, he did, but it doesn't seem like the Porsche got as worse as the Toyota with the damage. It seems that it was only bodywork damage that was for the Porsche, not a back left tire or anything like that. So that's unfortunate for Toyota, of course, but Porsche, they got lucky. They got really lucky. So up at the front, as it stands right now in Hypercar, it is pretty much Cadillac dominating this thing with the number 12 car. Their closest competitors seem to be Peugeot on genuine pace and Aston Martin, I would say. Aston Martin surprisingly are up there. I don't know how they did that. I mean, obviously BOP was a factor, but this goes beyond BOP. This is straight up like really good improvement stuff from the heart of racing here with those Valkyries. I think that what makes this what makes a lot of people think that Aston Martin aren't in the fight is because the 007 isn't up there. That's because of contact earlier, though, and I think that Harry Tincknell was on the move. He was trying to get up to his teammate, Marco Sorensen. But Aston Martin, I think that they genuinely have the third fastest car right now. As it stands, it's Cadillac versus Peugeot, and then Aston Martin seem to have a really quick car, whereas I'd say Porsche is probably on par with Aston Martin right now. Porsche seems pretty quick as it stands, and Ferrari surprisingly have Giovinazzi in 5th place with a 51. That car is not quick. It's not supposed to be there. So hats off to Giovinazzi for getting that 51 up into the top 5. This is critical for the championship, of course. Okay, so 30 minutes into this race, still a long way to go. Of course, it is, we haven't even reached the first hour of completion of the 6 hours of Fuji. James Podium continues to lead in McLaren, the United Autosports McLaren, the 59 car that is, by a couple of seconds to Stefano Gattuso and LMG T3. Meanwhile, in Hypercar, it is Will Stevens that has led this race from start to now in the number 12 Hertz Team Jota Cadillac, and his teammate Sebastian Bourdais continues to hold on to that 1-2 that qualifying presented Cadillac with back on Friday, I think it was, for that. But yeah, Saturday. I keep mistaking that because it was Friday for me. But yeah, it's been a pretty intense race. You know, a lot happening. We had drama. We've had strategy gambles. We've had just straight up great racing in both classes. And there's still way more to go in this race. And we're just scratching the surface of what we're about to see in Fuji. Speaking of racing, the number 5 Porsche has caught up to Loic Duval in the 94 Peugeot. So it's Porsche v Peugeot. Remember, Porsche won last year. They didn't quite get into the lead at the start of the race. It was mainly Cadillac out in front, kind of like what we're seeing right now. But later on in the race, Porsche came back and they were in the fight and eventually won with the 6th car. So, long way to go. Don't count out Porsche. That's my advice. From what we're seeing right now, they seem to be pretty good. I think they have at least the 3rd fastest car, if not the 2nd. I think Cadillac clearly has the advantage here at Fuji, as I kind of expected, to be honest. Meanwhile, Andlauer, right on the back of Duval, is going to try and make that move. No, he doesn't. He stays behind of the Peugeot 9X8 Hypercar, and Andlauer continues to be in P7. Whoa. Oh. Was there contact again? In a similar manner? Wait, hold up a second. Did we just... Okay, they were showing the replay of something that happened between the 83 Ferrari and the number 7 Toyota. The other Toyota, by the way. And it looked like Conway almost did the exact same thing that Ras did with Vanthoor, and the exact same thing that Habsburg did with Buemi. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but something's going on with cars maybe not being able to... It's not even in braking, though. It's on straights as well. So, is it just coincidentally happening to all drivers are just having an issue with getting past or something? Like, coincidentally, it just happens to be 3 times. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh, that was an absolute save by the number 5 Porsche and the number 94 Peugeot. They were racing, and I don't know if any of you saw what just happened here. The 60 Mercedes, the Iron Lynx car, was just in the middle of the track, stopped sideways, while these 2 cars were going side by side at the S's. They barely avoided that, but that was like... They caught that live, so that's why I was shocked in the moment. Meanwhile, Andlauer has got ahead of the 94 Peugeot into P6. Duval's coming back at him. The 2 are side by side. Duval's going to get held up by a Lexus, though. And the Porsche keeps ahead because the Lexus got in the way. So, unfortunately, Duval will stay in P7. I think if the Lexus wasn't there, Duval would have put a little bit more pressure on the 5. But no matter, continue on. But wow, Great reaction time from Andlauer and from Duval to miss that stricken Mercedes in the middle of the road. It's kind of like if you come up and you're racing with another car, and then immediately in front of you, you see this giant GT3 car just sitting in the middle of the track stopped, and it's like this giant brick wall. Whoa! The 6 Porsche just passed 2 cars by sending it on both of them while they were side by side. That was impressive. Very impressive stuff from Lawrence Vantor, I think that was. So, very good stuff, very good stuff. Again, viewers, we do have another live stream going on, the live data. That's, it's been great to have that going on, of course. Great to have all these streams going on from Fuji. I remember last year, it was the first time we were commentating on the race live at Fuji, the team and I mean. And I had a guest speaker on as well. That was so much fun. And then I was thinking, like, we could do so much more, I think. There's so many more possibilities for live streaming here. And look where we are now. 3 live streams going on at once. Multiple content coming out. A lot of people working hard. David, of course, my live stream co-host, he's unable to be here, of course, today because, well, he's in Europe, so it's like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning or something like that. He will probably join us for Bahrain, though, the season finale. But our WEC specialist, David, of course, he's been doing such an amazing job with content and just with everything. And it's been great to see. So there's people like David that have been really helping out on this channel. I really appreciate all the support. And yeah, we're only going to be expanding in 2026. That's what I can say. I can't say anything quite yet because I got a lot of exciting announcements to come. We have a comment coming in saying from Le Mans F124. Hi, Jonah. Just joining. How the heck is Aston Martin this good in P3? Well, you have a good question. Well, I mean, I don't have the full answer, but for me, what I can say is there's 3 factors as to how Aston Martin is here. I honestly wanted to make a video about how the heck is Aston Martin in the top 3 versus being like dead last in previous events. There are 3 points I want to mention here. The Aston Martin has been progressing really well. The Art of Racing have been doing such a brilliant job with the just the improvements and design and just the evolution of that Valkyrie over the last couple of races, more so than I've seen from any new manufacturer entering prototype endurance racing. I'm excluding BMW and Alpine from this equation. I'm only thinking of the small boutique brands and Lamborghini. But wow, they have done the best out of everybody from what I've seen. But there's that. The Valkyrie also suits this track really well. Coda was a really important track for the Valkyrie. It suits that track too. This Fuji is kind of similar. It's like that roller coaster. And Coda and Fuji both have that roller coaster element. Same thing with Portimao. I think if the WEC was at the Algarve International Circuit in Portimao, Portugal, I think the Valkyrie would have been on fire at that race too. But we're not racing anymore. The Valkyrie seems to do really well on roller coaster type tracks with high speeds. That's Coda, that's Fuji, and that's other tracks as well. Plus, the BOP is just really helping them. They have the best BOP. So I think evolution of the car, the program has evolved quite well. They've been making major improvements, the Heart of Racing. The car suits this track, and the BOP is benefiting them as well. So a lot of positives to take. Let's see here. Speaking of Aston Martin, Marco Sorensen has closed the gap again to Sebastian Bourdais and is now 2/10 away from making that move for second place. Cadillac versus Aston Martin right now. Meanwhile, at the back of the grid, it is a close battle for P16 as it stands. Buemi, Hansen, and Tinknell are battling for P16. So Buemi is trying to extend the gap and get away from the Ferrari and the Aston Martin, but the Valkyrie is right there. It's back in the hunt. Harry Tinknell, of course, had that issue, that spin at the hairpin with, I think that was turn 10, I think it was, with, I think it was Kevin Magnussen in the 15 BMW. Now he's making his way through the field, as is Magnussen, who's further up the road. The camera shots are now moving back to the battle for second place as Bourdais is under pressure from Marco Sorensen in the third place, 009 Valkyrie. If Aston Martin somehow end up getting a podium here, I will definitely make a video on that. If they get a win, I will definitely get a video on that. If they get a podium, though, hats off to them. I mean, this is impressive stuff from the Valkyrie program. They've been doing such an amazing job. And finally, Aston Martin is back at the top fighting for wins in endurance racing. We haven't seen this since 2011, I think, from the brand. Finally, though, Aston Martin is back in the fight for wins. And this is a regular occurrence. Get used to this, because the Valkyrie this year was always a learning year. I expected the Valkyrie to start being in this position in the next year. But this is impressive stuff. And you know what this kind of reminds me of? This gives me major flashbacks to 2023 when Porsche was having such a dreadful season as well with their new car. They had a brand new car in the World Endurance Championship with the 6 and the 5 Penske entries, as well as the Hertz Team Jota car, which came in later, and the Proton competition Porsche. But Porsche had a brand new car. They were really struggling. They came to Fuji, and they were in the fight for a podium. So the win. So Aston Martin showing similar things. However, it seems that the 009 is moving down the order. Wait, hold up. What's going on with the 009 Aston Martin? The car I was just talking about is falling down the order. Did it spin? On the live data, it's showing it's down to P13. No, tell me that's a glitch. Is it in the pits? Did it spin? It's down to the 007 car. What is... Please tell me that's a glitch. Right now, it shows that it's at the back of the field, the 009 Aston Martin. The car that was fighting for third. Tell me it didn't spin. Or maybe it went into the pit lane. That's my guess. I could see it going into the pit lane. Please let it be the pits. I'm waiting for confirmation from the WEC, but they're not giving it quite yet. Unless it's a glitch from the live data. But the Valkyrie is currently... it was in third, but right now it's not in third position. I think it may have... If anybody knows what happened to the Valkyrie, why it's moved down to P17 on this leaderboard here, let me know. Oh, dear, there's a Ferrari spinning off in the background. The GT3 car, that is the 21 Vista AF Corsa car. We saw that live happen. That happened live. That was the car of Francois Ario, I believe. And he's down to P10 from what it seems like. So the 21 has moved down the order. No indication what the Valkyrie is doing. I think it may have pit. It doesn't look like that it came and maybe had contact with the Cadillac. I think we'd be seeing instant switches to that or yellow flags or something like that. But I think the Valkyrie may have come into the pit lane or it's a glitch. That's my guess. I'm surprised there are actually so many people watching all these live streams because it's so late in the day. It's such a different time of content. That's what's so unique about Fuji and what's so unique about others. Drive-through penalty for what car? I'm hearing in the comments, drive-through penalty. For what car, though? For the Valkyrie? I really hope it's not the Valkyrie because it was doing so well. Yeah, the Valkyrie is... Okay, so the Valkyrie is down to P18. What happened? Was it a drive-through penalty? I really hope it wasn't. It was up in the fight for second place. And now it's down to... The Aston Martins are sitting last, both of them. Oh my goodness. What happened? It must have been a drive-through or a penalty, because the Valkyrie's fine. Yeah, so it's a drive-through penalty, I think, for the 009. That is so absolutely unfortunate. Still a long way to go, though. We've seen stuff like this happen. The Valkyries are so competitive here at Fuji, and I think that they're going to be coming through the field. Right now, though, this is not what they wanted. Not at all what they wanted. So this moves Paul di Resta into third in the number 93 Peugeot. Giovinazzi is now into fourth in the number 51 Ferrari, followed by Julian Andlauer in the number 5 Porsche, who has moved into the top 5. Andlauer is closing in on Giovinazzi for fourth, so it's Ferrari versus Porsche. Again, this time, though, for fourth position. As we approach the first hour of completion here at Fuji. I'm just devastated, though, for the 009 Aston Martin. It was doing so well. I was just talking about how well the Valkyrie program was doing, but I don't want to get too distraught. I don't want to get too just overwhelmed, because the thing is that this is still a very, very long race, and you can see that the Valkyries have pace. They've already moved past the 83 Ferrari. They're moving up the field. I think that it's just they got some drive-through penalties, and they're not here to win. You know, they're not expecting to win. They're not expecting to get a podium, because this is all the learning game. This entire season has been devoted to learning this new program. 2026 is where the Valkyrie program fully kicks into gear, where it fully starts fighting for podiums, where they go, okay, we don't want to be 8th the whole season in the championship. We want to be fighting for the podiums. We want to be fighting for the win at Le Mans. We want to get Aston Martin back in the fight for the overall victory at Le Mans and win it for the first time since 1959 overall, when Aston Martin, of course, got 2 overall victories. Full course yellow on track. It's coming. The race control is saying that the full course yellow. Why? Probably for... I would assume debris. There's a lot of debris out on track from the hypercars. A lot of contact from what I've seen. There has been some, like, not too much of bad incidents or anything like that. There's been some unfortunate luck, like the Valkyries, unfortunately. Can you show the race? Unfortunately, I can't. I wish I could. But the reason why I can't is because, well, I get copyrighted. It's not my stream. I have to be respectful. I have to follow the rules, and I have to, as all streamers should. The only people that should be streaming the race should be the WEC and their partners, who they give the rights to. Unfortunately, I can't just show the stream. I have the capabilities of doing that. I literally could do that right now if I really wanted to. I literally could go, here's the stream. You can all watch it right here. But it's against the rules, and I don't want to break the rules, you know. Like I said, I would love to. First pit stop for the 15 BMW. The 009 Aston Martin is also into the pit lane. Same with the number 83 Ferrari. So the 009 is into the pits for a standard stop under this full course safety car. This should help them get back into the fight later on. Major contact, major bodywork damage for the 83 Ferrari and the 15 BMW. The 15 is getting an entire rear section of the car being taken off and put back on with a new one. So the 15 BMW has got damage on the back of the car. This should be a swift pit stop for Team WRT. Oh, it's also the back cover as well. Oh, wow. Oh, and so Ferrari was showing, Ferrari was doing something. They were, like, preparing some sort of, like, tarp or something like that to put on. I don't know what they were wanting to put it on, but now it's been confirmed that it's for that hole in the 83 Ferrari. So the tarp is gone on. Whoa. What happened to the 83? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I thought it stopped for a moment, and I thought, like, oh, shoot, that's not good. But it's okay. There's a Marshal on track, and he's running away from a car coming out of turn 1. Brilliant stuff from the Marshal there. I gotta hand it to these Marshals. They do a really, really good job of getting in, quickly grabbing stuff, and go. That would be it. That'd be fun, but it'd be extremely dangerous. Leader is into the pit lane. The Hypercar leader for our first mandatory stop, the number 12 Hertz Team Jota Cadillac, is into the pits. Will Stevens coming in for a mandatory stop from what it seems like. Porsche is also in. Same with the second place Cadillac. I would assume that the majority of cars are going to be coming into the pit lane. This is a perfect time to pit. So mandatory stop for the 12. No driver change. No wheel change maybe wheel change. There is a wheel change going on. And it's on, let's see. So They're getting ready. Once the fuel goes out, the 12 will be getting a new set of tires. At least two new sets of tires. Okay. It is going to be the front left tires. Front left tires and back left tires on the new. So, okay, let's see. So back left tires and front left tires are being changed. And those are new mediums going on the number 12 Cadillac. 20 BMW is in. Actually, everybody is in except the third place sitter, Paul di Resta, in the number 93 Peugeot. Very surprised to see that Peugeot have stayed out with the number 93 car. Also, what's going on with the 6? It was like stopped in the middle of the track there, or stopped in the middle of the pits. Okay, so full course safety car, full course yellow is still here. It's a virtual safety car. So not official, like, car going out on track. Everyone is coming into the pit lane except Paul di Resta in the number 93 Peugeot. Why? I don't know. Maybe they're saving tires. Maybe they're saving fuel. But right now, Peugeot is playing the long game. If they were to come into the pit lane, it would have been for a... It would have been now. You know, it would have been before. So, very interesting to see. The number 6 Porsche came into the pits as well for a new... what was it? A new back part of the car, new back wing. So the 6 has dropped down the order a little bit. It's down to 9th now. It's fallen behind 2 cars, the 36 Alpine and the number 20 BMW. Actually, nope. It's also fallen behind the 50 Ferrari, from what it seems. Also, front section change of the 007 Valkyrie. The 007 is getting a front nose completely redone. So this 007 is going to do that. That is very interesting. Thank you, Re-Ring. Thank you. So also change in the number 8 Toyota as well. The 8 is getting a rear back wing as well. So the back wing getting taken off, putting back on. Quick pit stop for the 009 car, which got them ahead of the number 8. And I think that Sorensen has stayed in as well, so he will be in 14th. Harry Tinkton will be in 16th, I think. The LMGT3 cars are also into the pit lane. Both McLarens came in, both Corvettes, both Aston Martins. I believe the BMW, one of the BMWs came in, maybe both cars. It's Stefano Gattuso, and I think actually Stefano Gattuso also came in as well in the 88 Ford Mustang that was in the top 5. Let's take a look and see with LMGT3. It's 59 McLaren ahead of 88 Proton Ford ahead of 95 McLaren. Full course yellow infringement on the 009. That was the drive-through penalty. Not sure what they did. Interesting. So thank you for clarifying that. I really appreciate that helpful information. So it seems that a full course yellow infringement was the cause for the drive-through penalty for the 009 viewers. Very, very interesting to see. But yeah, that's super unfortunate for the heart of racing. I'm not getting my I don't know. I'm not getting too disappointed though, because while this is a setback, it's not entirely the end of the race for the Valkyrie. That car could still get into a better position, and it will. I'm very confident in that. Very odd situation going on here. The number 93 Peugeot has come into the pit lane. It has. Why now? Why not earlier? Well, what I think happened was that maybe Peugeot didn't want to stack the 2 cars at once. They wanted to do the 94, because sometimes what happens is that another car, both cars coming in at the exact same time, the first car that came in blocks the second car, and it causes just this mix-up. We saw that with Porsche Penske. We saw that with Toyota Gazoo Racing. Both manufacturers, Toyota and Porsche, had issues with getting the car into its aligned pit stop, and I think they lost a little bit of time. So, interesting to see that. But the 93 Peugeot has exited the pits in 3rd, ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi, but just barely ahead of the Ferrari. So, this has actually hurt the 93 Peugeot's race right now. But, yeah. Oh, okay. So, full course yellow has been progressed to a safety car, a full course safety car. This is exactly what Aston Martin needed. The 009 is now right back in the fight for a really good result in this race. And so is all the hypercars. So are all the LMGT3 entries as well. This, though, is very interesting. A full course safety car has been called out for the 6 hours of Fuji. We saw the signs. We saw all the data. That is really interesting. So, first full course safety car of the day, Will Stevens leads. Pretty much everybody in Hypercar came in, so there's going to be no change there. No pit stops from what it seems. LMGT3, it seems the same has happened here. By the way, the BMWs have moved further up the order, 5th and 8th right now for both M4s. So very good performance from both Team WRT entries. They're looking very strong. And for Toyota and Aston Martin, this really helps them after their early misfortunes with the issues to the 8 and the issues for the 007 and 009, of course, as we covered earlier. But yeah, so full course yellow, 4-course safety car. It is going to be Will Stevens that is going to head the field in the Cadillac. And then we should be bunching up the field and getting underway quite soon. Thankfully, no rain or any huge implications like that, unlike Lone Star Le Mans, of course, which would impact the event. So we'll see. We'll see. There's still a long way to go. We are approaching the first hour of completion for the WEC's 100th event in its existence. So the Porsche safety car has come out of the pit lane. It will wait for the leader, the 12 Cadillac, that is, of Will Stevens. The former F1 driver will be bunching up right behind the Porsche Carrera safety car. I think it's a Porsche Carrera. Couldn't tell exactly. I think it was a Porsche Carrera of some kind. Also, I was just thinking of Formula One, because Formula One is prominent across the world, of course. Fuji also hosted the Japanese Grand Prix in 2007 and 2008, if I recall correctly. But it's quite interesting because, from my understanding, there's only been 2 drivers on the current grid that have raced in that event in Formula One, in either one of those events. Actually, no, there's 3. I think there's 3. Let me think. Just double check. Yeah, 3. 3 former F1 drivers that raced in that event. Those were Jenson Button for Honda. I'm not the greatest with Formula One compared to WEC, but hopefully I get my facts right. Jenson Button with Honda back in 2007 and 8. Then there was Robert Kubica with BMW Sauber in, I believe, 2007 and 2008. And the third driver was Sebastian Bourdais for Toro Rosso, Red Bull's sister team, Toro Rosso, in 2008. I believe Bourdais raced in 2008 and not in 2007. I believe he made his debut in 2008 alongside Sebastian Vettel, another very, very common name in the world of motorsport, of course. But I believe there are the only 3 racers on the current grid of the WEC that have raced in the Japanese Grand Prix at Fuji when it was held in 2007 and 2008. I believe that everybody else didn't. If you want to count Rubens Barrichello, since he's here in this event, you can. You know, he was Button's teammate. So Barrichello, of course, he's here at this event supporting his son, Eduardo Barrichello, who's in that pole-sitting Racing Spirit of Lehman Aston Martin. But Barrichello was in that event, if you want to count him. And I believe he was the only... I believe those are the only 3 racers. If you can think of anybody else, let me know in the comments below. I was trying to think of any of the Peugeot drivers. Jean-Eric Verne, I believe, was not in Formula One at that time. And neither was Sebastian... Oh, wait, maybe was Sebastian Buemi in that point as well in Formula One? I don't think so. I know he was in 2010. I think he joined in 2010. But another side fact, something that is not totally prominent, but still something fun. So after the 6 hours of Fuji is completed, we're going to take a little bit of a break, I'm sure, because it will be a very long race. I'm sure that a lot of you will have to deal with the mix and sleep schedules. I will, at least. I know that I'm going to try and go to sleep for like 30 minutes or something like that, or something, and then wake up again at 1 a.m. to watch the rest of this race, at least on my time zone. So that's how it goes. So the number 12 Cadillac continues to lead this race under safety car conditions. Will Stevens has led from start to now as we continue to go throughout this race. The first hour is done. We are into the second hour of the 6 hours of Fuji. And McLaren lead over in LMGT3 with the 59 car. That is, I believe, James Cottingham aboard the 59 United Autosports McLaren 720S GT3 Evo. But what I was saying earlier was that after Fuji, we're going to get some time off. We're going to get a week, I think, of a break. And then I think the week after is going to be the big event in IMSA, the Petit Le Mans event, Motul Petit Le Mans, the big 10-hour endurance race at Road Atlanta, a wonderful event, of course. That'll be happening. We'll be covering that event, of course. And that'll be the final race for a lot of cars on the grid. It will likely be the final race, at least for 2025 and 2026. For the Lamborghini SC63, which won't race in 2026 at all in any motorsport. Hopefully returns in 2027, though. And drivers like Michael Christensen weren't able to come to Fuji. He's actually been replaced by Mathieu Jaminet for this event. And he wasn't here because he's actually testing for Petit Le Mans with AO Racing currently for their Rexy program with the 911 in the GTD Pro category. But yeah, it's great to see that Petit Le Mans is so cool. And then for the WEC, just one race remains after Fuji. It's the season finale in Bahrain. It is definitely cool to see that the WEC is going to go back to Bahrain. It's the 8 hours of Bahrain as well, 8 hour of endurance racing, which is going to be really fun. That's in November. So about a month and maybe a month and a half till that event or so. What is taking so long on this yellow? I know it is taking a little bit longer than expected. I think we should be getting the safety car like done in just a moment, I would assume. The Porsche is leading away the two Cadillacs, followed by the Peugeot, followed by the Ferrari, followed by the number 5 Porsche, which completes the top 5. But I think that we should be getting the safety car ending at least, I would say next lap. I would say next lap probably. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how this kind of goes. But yeah, we should be getting things underway. So we're officially 1 minute away from the completion of the first lap of the 6 hours of Fuji here in Oyama, Japan, at the base of Mount Fuji. The iconic mountain is just right above all these drivers' heads as they look up. If they get a chance to look up from focusing on driving a 200 mile per hour prototype or a competitive and difficult to drive sometimes GT car, well, they can see the wonderful scenery that Japan has to offer with the Mount Fuji and just the wonderful trees and sky that we see here in Fuji. You know, Japan has like some of the best scenery, if I gotta be honest. I don't know why they went virtual safety car, then brought out the safety car. I believe it's to clean up all the debris, all the debris that's out on track. There's a lot of debris on a track. But I'm not sure why they brought out the safety car completely. There wasn't any major incidents in terms of like a car just off the track or a mechanical failure or something like that. But I think it was just to clear up all the debris, maybe repair some sections of the track that maybe were damaged in the first hour or something, but I don't know. Okay, so we've officially ticked down to 1 hour completed of this 6 hour endurance race. Still 5 hours remain of this endurance race. Even though Cadillac has dominated the first hour and they look control, anything can happen. As we saw last year, Cadillac did the same. They were leading pretty much the entire first hour of this race. And as we know, it didn't quite go well for them. The number 2, of course, ended up retiring from the race. So even though they look in control right now, it might not be absolutely perfect for them. So we'll see how that goes. So Cadillac continued to lead. We should be getting safety cars in this lap. Just confirmation from race control. So officially, safety car is in this lap. Will Stevens will lead the field away. Thank goodness, we're finally back to racing here at Fuji Speedway in Oyama, Japan. The 12 Cadillac will lead us away in Hypercar. James Cottingham will do the same in LM GT3 and the 59 McLaren. Meanwhile, the entire Hypercar field has caught up to the rest of the train. This brings Aston Martin back into the fight. This brings Toyota back into the fight. So great news for both of them after their earlier misfortunes. And I believe that Will Stevens has indeed gone. He has been able to cycle the field away and lead for Cadillac Hertz Team Jota. Paul di Resta got a really good start on that safety car restart, and he's trying to make his way through the field in the number 93 car, trying to challenge those two Cadillacs, get Peugeot into the fight. Meanwhile, Julian Andlauer looking to make a move on Antonio Giovinazzi, the Porsche, with the better straight line speed. A little bit of contact actually between the two cars, but it seems like they continue to keep going. The Porsche locks up into turn one. That might lose him the position there. No major contact in the Hypercar field as it stands. And it is the Porsche that gets... still side by side. The Ferrari's going to stay ahead, though, of the number 5 Porsche. Loic Duval trying to get into the mix as well. Meanwhile, Paul di Resta in the number 93 Peugeot, the guy who was a former F1 driver, of course, the guy who is racing over at IMSA and LMP2 as well, is right on the back of the 38 Cadillac of Sebastian Bourdais. And di Resta is absolutely flying in the 9X8. He might be making a move for second here. Come on, Peugeot. Let's do this. Come on. Let's do this. Here comes Paul di Resta around the outside of Sebastian Bourdais. They're side by side into the corner, and di Resta gets the move. The Peugeot is up into second position. And here comes Giovinazzi as well. Giovinazzi trying to get in the mix as well into third. A little bit of contact. Bourdais goes a little bit off the track, but he has the inside line. Giovinazzi switches to the other side of the track, and the Ferrari moves into third position. He forces Bourdais off the track. Bourdais comes back, though, and he now has the inside line. Bourdais is back into third position. Excellent racing here in the Hypercar field. Bourdais is back into third, but the Ferrari is right on the back of the V Series R. We know that the 499P doesn't have a lot of straight line speed, but that 499P is right there. It's going to the inside line, and the battle continues for the final podium spot. Bourdais versus Giovinazzi, two former F1 drivers going wheel to wheel. Meanwhile, in the background, the 50 Ferrari is trying to make a move on the number 20 BMW, successfully does that, and Giovinazzi, meanwhile, gets ahead as well. It's double delight for the two Ferrari AF Corsa Factory 499Ps. They have moved into into third and eighth respectively. Great performance from both of them, and wow, I need to take a breath, because that was just epic racing that we just saw there in the Hypercar field. Wow. I'm kind of shocked about that. So the racing continues. It is now 3 different marks in the top 3. Cadillac's 1-2 is no more. Peugeot and Ferrari have entered the chat. You know, another brand that's trying to enter the chat as well is Porsche. The number 5 car is getting in the mix as well with Julian Andlauer. We know how quick Andlauer is in that Porsche 963. He is closing in on Sebastian Bourdais for 4th position as it stands. It seems that Giovinazzi has actually maintained 3rd despite the performance of Ferrari. Despite Ferrari having such a difficult car, it seems they're actually in the fight for a solid points finish. Not just a points finish, but a podium. Maybe even a win. You never know with Ferrari. They're so competitive that it could genuinely be a win despite having the worst BOP or something like that. Meanwhile, there's a lot of action happening in the back of the field. The 007 Aston Martin is trying to make a move on Nick de Vries in the number 7 Toyota. Meanwhile, Marco Sorensen has moved into 11th place ahead of Ferdinand Habsburg. So the 009 is back into 11th and chasing down the number 6 Porsche for the top 10. Nico Pino trying to get into the mix as well. And the 009's got past the number... Sorry. Is that a 009? It has. The 009 has got past the number 6 Porsche. So Sorensen's back into the top 10 for the Valkyrie team. And wow, the heart of racing, despite the earlier drama, I told you, don't get too disappointed about earlier. Aston Martin are back in the fight for a very, very solid position. They could be back in the fight for the podium here and challenging with those Ferraris and the Cadillacs. The number 6 Porsche of Lawrence Vantor seems to be struggling a little bit. He's been overtaken by Sorensen, and now Habsburg seems to be right on the back of him as well. But yeah, there's just been a lot of racing so far in the hypercar class. I believe there's also a bunch of racing going on in LMGT3, but there's just been so much to keep an eye on that it's hard for the WEC, I think, to catch up on everything. They just, I think they're showing, there's just so much to show. There's so much to show in this fight. Now they switched to LMGT3, great job. And I think that they're doing a great job with what they're showing right now, because there's an excellent battle going on for P3 in this race. BMW, Corvette, Aston Martin, all in the fight for a podium place. James Cottingham is being put under pressure by Stefano Gattuso in the 88 Proton competition Mustang. And Ahmed Al-Harti is now trying to make the move on Ben Keating in the number 33 Corvette. So Al-Harti is trying to get into the mix here. Same with Ian James, team owner of the Heart of Racing in the 27 Aston Martin. He's getting back into the fight. Same thing with a fellow American on the grid, Anthony McIntosh, on board the pole-sitting Racing Spirit of Lehman Aston Martin. Here comes Ahmed Al-Harti on the 33 Z06. Harty trying to make that move, maybe going to send it to the inside line in the 46. This is for the podium. This is for the podium. The 46 stays behind. He thinks better of it. Smart move. And these cars also have to watch out for the 31 BMW, the Team Bend sponsored WRT car. That entry is in the fight as well. We haven't seen a lot from the 31 BMW recently. Ever since that Sao Paulo livery, it's been a pretty difficult season for the 31 crew. But they're back in the fight for a solid points finish now, as they currently sit in 6th. Speaking of the second BMW, Ahmed Al-Harti trying to make the move on Ben Keating. He's so close to the back of the Corvette. He's practically just trying to get up there. Meanwhile, Marco Sorensen has made the move on the number 20 BMW. The Dane train, at least one of them, is in P9 now. So I know, as David is a big fan of Marco Sorensen, I'm sure that he'll be really happy to see him doing so well right now. Sorensen up to P9. He finally has a prototype under his belt to say to be able to fight for a solid points finish. The Aston Martin Valkyrie back into P9, and now next up on the board is the 50 Ferrari of Nicholas Nielsen, I believe. Very strong performance from everybody today in the LMGT3 and Hypercar field. Here comes Ahmed Al-Harti on the Corvette, trying to go side by side as they head down the straight. This is a very long straight. Watch out for Ian James as well. Ahmed Al-Harti powers past with better straight line speed. These two are just going at it. This is a blast at turn 1. This is all about power. Let's see. Here we go. The BMW has the inside line, and Ahmed Al-Harti moves past. Can Keating try the switchback maneuver, though? No, he does not. He stays in 4th, and maybe he's going to try and do the exact same thing that Ahmed Al-Harti did on the previous lap. So let's see. Oh, Keating goes wide, though. Ian James is now trying to go side by side with the Corvette. And here comes the 31, Yasser Shaheen, in the 31 Team WRT BMW, has now got ahead of Ian James and into P5. Now he sends it on the Corvette. Contact, though, between the two cars. It seems, though, that everything is okay as it stands. Ian James is back into the fight. 3 wide, down to the lawn hairpin. This is incredible racing in the LMGT3 category. Anthony McIntosh is in the fight as well. The Aston Martins are all trading positions. Here comes the Porsche and the Ferraris as well. This is amazing. Amazing stuff here. The two Astons almost side by side. Here comes the Manthey First Form car and the Ferrari. Francois Ario to the inside, gets past the 92 Porsche, and the Iron Dames car is in the fight as well, trying to make the move. This is just a train of cars from 4th down to what is 12th, with Martin Barry in the 61 Mercedes from Iron Lynx. Wow. I'm astonished by what we're seeing right here. This has allowed Ahmed Al-Harti, though, to extend the gap on Ben Keating. Al-Harti finished 3rd last year with alongside Kelvin van der Linde and Valentino Rossi. in the 46 car here at Fuji. Will they be going one better and getting a second place or maybe even a win? That'd be great. We'll see. We'll see how it goes for the BMWs. Meanwhile, the 61 Mercedes is into the pit lane. The Iron Lynx have called in their first of the two AMG GT3s, and that is Martin Barry back into the pits for, I believe, his second stop of the day. If I'm not mistaken, he will drift down to P18 as it stands. Also, what happened to the 95 McLaren? It's further down the order. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Back up to Hypercar. Marco Sorensen continues to move his way to the top, back to the top that is, as he moves past the 50 Ferrari into P8. Marco Sorensen is flying out there. He is just absolutely on a roll. The Valkyrie not only has got ahead of the Ferrari now, but is now right on the back of the Alpine, the number 36 Alpine for 7th, and then Sorensen will be on the train for P3. He'll be on the back for P3. Aston Martin, despite their earlier issues, could still be getting not just a podium, but potentially a second place, or maybe even... I don't even want to say it because I don't even want to jinx it. It's been kind of back and forth on that, so it's not been the perfect situation. I don't want to jinx anything, so I'll just not say anything and hope for the best. Okay, so LMGT3's racing continues to be very, very quick. Meanwhile, looks like we had a comment coming in saying the 009 with a 3-second penalty on its next pit stop. Not the biggest issue, but if that's the case, still a little unfortunate. I don't want to get my hopes up because it seems like it's like the super highs, super lows, super highs, super lows kind of thing like that with the 009. So let's just hope that it ends up at the end being a super high for the Valkyrie. The LMGT3 field is in the mix with this hypercar train. The multi-class racing returns. Oh, by the way, up at the front, Peugeot are putting the pressure on Cadillac. Cadillac have competition for this win. It's Peugeot versus Cadillac in this fight for the win. Paul di Resta in the number 93 car is chasing down Will Stevens in the number 12. The number 12 car is right in the thick of it for the win now. While Will Stevens has been dominating, Cadillac officially are in the fight. Peugeot are officially in the fight for the win now. Meanwhile, Ferrari versus Cadillac for third. Sebastian Bourdais trying to reclaim the podium spot from Giovinazzi in the 51 Ferrari. Watch out for Andlauer in the number 5 car as well. Oh, there's a car off the track. That's the 21 Ferrari, the 296, the Vista AF Corsa entry. And that car is down the order because it's spun. Yellow flag in that section of the track. No overtaking. Now no longer any yellow flags. Marco Sorensen has also got ahead of the 36 Alpine and is now chasing down the number 94 Peugeot of Loic Duval. He's actually right on the back of the Peugeot. How did Sorensen just do that? Sorensen is absolutely flying. Sorensen is on the back of the Peugeot for 6th place. Here comes the Aston Martin Valkyrie with a better straight line speed. Is Sorensen going to send it to the inside? He's looking for the maneuver. He stays behind. And the Aston Martin Valkyrie is absolutely in just pure pace right now. Pure pace, pure just determination to get back up into the front where it belongs. Oh, Sorensen almost goes into the back of Duval. So the 009 car in P7 as it stands, he got ahead of Makovic in the Alpine. Next up is the 94 Peugeot. And then after that, right up the road is the number 5 Porsche of Julian Andlauer for P5. And then Aston Martin will be back in the top 5 and gearing for the podium place. In LMGT3, Cottingham continues to lead. Gattuso still putting pressure on the McLaren for P1 as it stands. But as of right now, this battle for P6 in Hypercar or P5 is in the way of that battle for LMGT3's win. Sorensen is right on the back of the 9X8 Hypercar. He is I'm assuming using this time to kind of cool off, wait a little bit. He's looking for the move though on the 9X8. Sorensen absolutely flying on board this Valkyrie. I know I keep saying it, but wow, this is impressive stuff from the 009 crew. Where's the 007 as well? Is that car in the fight too? I don't know where the 007 is of Harry Tinknell. Sorensen is closing. Remember, the Peugeot and the Aston Martin have the same BOP as well, same power. So that's why the Peugeot is able to stay ahead. So if you see on your screen or you see on the live data that the Aston Martin keeps catching up from what I'm saying here, then that explains it. Whoa, what happened there with the Ferrari contact with the 36 Alpine, it seems. So the 21 Ferrari was spun by the number 36 Alpine, from what it seems like. Or the 21 just spun on his own, I don't really know. But yeah, hold on a second. Let me get some water. The 21 Ferrari's back into the pit lane for a, what is it, a drive-through? 60 Mercedes also came in as well. It looked like a drive-through penalty for the 21. It's now last in Hypercar, last in the entire field, actually. That's unfortunate to see, but still a long race to go, and the Mercedes are just up the road, so there's a lot of racing to come. Sorensen looking to make the move for P7 as it's, sorry, so for P6 as it stands. Car 007 has been given a drive-through penalty for the incident at turn 10. I think the 007 was at fault. So while there's drama for the 007, that's not good news for them. The 009 is making the move. Sorensen is side-by-side with Duval, and they're going side-by-side. Same power, remember, for the Peugeot and the Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin has just barely got ahead into P6. Duval coming back at the Aston, but Sorensen keeps it going. He has the inside line, thankfully, so this should help him to stay ahead, and Sorensen keeps ahead into P6 now. Next up, Julian Andlauer in the number 5 Porsche. He's right up the road. Sorensen already putting on pressure. That's how quickly he caught up to Julian Andlauer. So Sorensen right there in the fight. He is just absolutely flying. And then next up, it's the battle for P4 with the Cadillacs. Sorensen, P6 as it stands. It seems as well that Tinknell hasn't been able to find the same pace as Sorensen. From what it seems, the 009 has been on a roll recently. Tinknell hasn't been able to find the pace. I'm not really sure why, but here comes Sorensen. Here comes the Aston. He's on the back of the Porsche. Not making the move quite yet, though. So the 009 is going to stay in P6. Okay, viewers. Well, this is the point where I probably say I probably head out for now. I would love to continue and stream for the rest of the race, but I can't. You know, it's very difficult for me to do that. I can, however, stream the rest of the race for the live data. I'm going to keep that going till the end. You'll be able to catch the rest of the race on the live data over the main stream. That's the main stream. Go over there, check out everything that you need, and keep watching this race. If you're on if you're watching live data, if you're watching the race, enjoy this one. It's going to be absolutely amazing. By the way, just in, car number 8 has been given a 3-minute stop and go penalty. That is almost race ending stuff for the number 8 car. It is just now pretty much out of contention for a win, if I have to say. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching. Switch over to the live data stream. Talk to me there. I will be in the comments, of course. You can watch the action. I'll be watching there as well as watching the live feed. But again, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Keep watching this epic Fuji event as Marco Sorensen, drivers like him, go through the field. Thank you to everybody for all your support. I really, really appreciate everything. And I will see you all in the next one. Tune over to the second live stream. Of course, it's going on, the live data stream. And yeah, that's it. Have a good one.